Things are about to start heating up for you. All right, we have the sun staring us right at the face, and there's definitely right at the face. I don't know if it makes sense, but listen, things are heating up. I'm literally heating up, just opening up with this message, and this is about surging popularity. All right, surging. All right, and you've been prepared for bigger visibility, and it's only because of what you're going to do with it, because the sun isn't just somebody who is this shining light. They have an exothermic reaction, which means that they transfer light and heat, okay, consciousness and truth to their surroundings, to awaken other fractals of awareness, to become conscious of themselves, to become conscious of something within this construct, something within the realms of this existence that they wouldn't have been exposed to otherwise. And there's something around photons others are exposing, because if you think about the absorption of photons, this is so funny. It actually ends up opening up a wormhole. So it's almost like you are an entry point and exit point for those around you. And I'm hearing it's an exit point in regards to exiting out of an old way of being and entering into a new realm of existence. I'm just seeing you being a huge source of inspiration, where there is something that you're going to be doing as far as impact goes, and recognition is just the side effect. All right, it's almost like you're being placed in a visible position. Okay, I'm seeing like a position in the sky, so this is certain alignment that's taking place for you, and it's because of what you're going to do with it, right? Let me go ahead and open up with the messages from the astral realm last night. Let me go ahead and find them. So I was being shown an astrocartography map, right? Now, I saw in this astrocartography map Pluto descendant line, and what the Pluto descendant line is, just in general, is going to be the type of individuals that you attract your way. It also can be where you are a powerful point of influence to those around you, and it can also be where your environment deeply influences you. And there's something about how you've been influenced, how you've kind of been shaped by the external. I'm hearing this is a lot to do with nature versus nurture. And you've had to go through a kind of a death and rebirth, where you've had to break free of a shell of who society or this construct had taught you to be. And as you return to almost like this inner child like play and essence, you're going to be noticed for something that does make you stand out in some kind of way, right? That's almost what Pluto is. It's the deep merging of your answering the soul's natural call for exploration. And there's something that you're being called to do. There's something that maybe you're being called to put out there. Maybe it's about putting yourself out there in some kind of way that's going to lead to major visibility. And it's in alignment with what your soul's essence is, right? Almost like an energy signature that you're carrying. Anyway, what I saw was people that you hadn't seen in years started collapsing into your reality. Okay, they started downloading into your third dimensional experience. And this is, I'm hearing, noteworthy. There's something that you're doing that could be becoming noteworthy. I'm hearing all others can really do is take notes from you, because there is something about a point of reference that is completely shifting. Okay, the trajectory, maybe it's a moment that's going to leave a mark in the historical timeline, but it completely leaves a mark in history for the moment in time and space, and the moment in space and time that forever shifted the trajectory that you would experience as far as space-time travel goes, right? As far as your experience on Earth, right? And how others would relate to you, even emotionally, right? How others would think about you. This is almost something that's shifting others' point of reference, and it's because you're seeing yourself differently, right? It's almost like they're showing me the card in this deck, the Gateway of the Light activations, and it says, I believe it's the card that says it's the solar plexus upgrade. So it's almost like you're trusting yourself, you're having more confidence, and there's a vocal point of internal empowerment that you're stepping into, right? It's almost as if you are stepping into a main character element, and it does feel like eyes are already on you. It's about what you're going to do with it, right? You're becoming I'm hearing visible right now. The changes that you've been doing internally are becoming visible, okay, in very tangible ways. Maybe you're looking different, I'm hearing, when it comes to your appearance. Maybe you're moving different in this experience, but I feel like it's an energy that you're embodying, and I'm hearing it's a knowing that you return back to, right? It's a knowing that you've returned back to. Now, they're showing me the peeling away everything that is unaligned to reveal a more sacred and aligned version of yourself. So it's almost as if you're remembering yourself as a sacred being, or remembering this experience as a sacred experience. And anyway, let's go ahead and continue right with the astral travel. So people that you hadn't seen in years started collapsing into reality. And these were deeply transformative relationships, right? These are about the experiences that begin to shape us, and also the way that we shape others. And I'm hearing there's a way that I'm hearing is unbeknown to you right now in regard to just how deeply transformative you are, and the transformative part that you play in the life of those that you touch. Okay, I'm hearing those that you touch. And if you think about Pluto, it's the core, right? It's those that you touch on a soul level. This isn't just surface level things. This is deeply embedded within the psyche. It's in the ways that people don't usually see on the surface, right? But they witness over time a transformation that is unannounced, but more so embodied, right? So anyway, you were deeply admired by these connections, as well as some new connections that were coming in, and you were going for a walk in the woods at this point. And the woods in the metaphysical realm, or forest, just represent uncharted territory that you're entering into. Okay, so this is like a new ecosystem of experiences that is aligned with a version of you that is, I'm hearing, embodying and embracing the transformational powerhouse that you are, okay? And you are being really, again, aware of the energy exchanges that you're entering into. So this is about spiritual exploration. It's almost like you're stepping into a new realm where you can enforce certain energetic boundaries. And it was just a very, very interesting time. Now, let me go ahead and get back to the original message. Surging popularity, right? This is what I was seeing. And there's this scene that's kept playing in my head, right? From, if you guys have watched Wednesday, there's this scene in the kind of like one of the first episodes that launches. And if you think about it, I'm hearing it's not the pilot, right? It's not the first time you've done this, I'm hearing. So maybe there's been this level of visibility that you've gained. I'm hearing a point of attraction that I'm hearing a magnetic point of attraction that you have experienced before, but I don't necessarily know if it's in this lifetime or just like another surge that you've experienced in the past. And this one could be different for each one of you. But there's a scene where she says, popularity doesn't come by the laws of physics. The harder you repel it, the harder it comes for you. So there's almost something that you've been resisting in regards to a level of recognition, a level of, I'm hearing a level of, what's the word, attention. Okay, I don't feel like you've been calling out for attention. I don't feel like you've been seeking attention at all, and that's exactly why it's finding you, right? I'm hearing it is kind of like hide and go seek, right? I almost see you playing hide, like you've been playing hide throughout your whole life, and the universe has been counting, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna count to 10, and you go and hide somewhere, and you think it's a really, really good spot, but you don't realize that you are the sun, you are the light. So wherever it is that you go, even if you go in the darkest rooms in the closet, or like you're hiding in like a laundry basket with like a hood on, you don't see that whatever it is that you encase, whatever it is that you encompass, whatever it is that you surround yourself with, or environments that you immerse yourself in, trying to blend in, the basket I'm seeing that you like, this is so crazy, right? Hold on, wait. That you are seated in starts glowing. Okay, it starts glowing brighter and brighter. That dark closet that you're in, you don't realize that there's like this golden elixir that begins to wrap. It's like everywhere that you go, your aura cloaks that thing, that medium, and it bleeds into whatever it is that you do, right? It becomes an extension of you, because everything is just conscious energy. And what I was laughing at was they were showing me the tea leaf message deck that I have, and it's crazy, right? So in this deck, it says reward for merit recognition on it, and it's a fruit basket. So if you think about fruit baskets as well, I'm seeing this as something being delivered to you. It usually is something that, others send to you, others send your way. So there could be like literal tangible rewards that are coming away for something that you've been doing, but I'm hearing it's coming from a pure place, right? This is about a level of purity. So that's what I was saying. It's like the spotlight is already here, but will you command it or allow it to command you? Okay. So your energy is magnetic, whether you've called it in or not. Eyes are already on you. And the message I was receiving is that the only question is, are you going to direct your story or let it be written for you? Right. This is about you, not just a destiny being handed to you, but it's about what you're going to do with it. How are you going to shape and mold this destiny? Right. It's almost like somebody that kind of skyrockets into a position of visibility, but and but the message that's coming through, have you ever heard that quote by Will Smith? And I think he says something along the lines of, money and fame doesn't change anyone, it just enhances the qualities that are already there. So if I'm seeing like a deep humanitarian, for example, or someone with like a very deep mission in regards to how they are here to impact those around them, being placed into the spotlight, and it's about what are you going to do, right? It's almost like, all right, this is go time now. You don't realize that the humanitarian cause, even though it feels like I'm hearing it's paradoxical and there's nothing unrelated, right, at first, it's about a position that you're being placed in that you don't even necessarily want to be in, right? Because even in Wednesday, she's seated in like, there's this scene where she says, don't ever put me on a pedestal because I will burn it down, right? And everyone is magnetized to her even more because I'm hearing there's like a Black Moon Lilith energy in regards to this, right? It's a part of us that is the deep repressed feminine. And it's almost as if this is a part of you that naturally wants to rebel, right? It's the part of you that naturally feels like an outcast. And the very thing I'm hearing that you have felt like you've been dismissed in regards to, the very thing that you feel like you've had to repress or suppress in regards to your authenticity or something that may be quirky, something that may be different, is the very thing that you're going to be noticed for. I'm hearing it's actually the very thing that's going to make you stand out, which is super interesting because I'm hearing you weren't designed to blend in and the spotlight is finding you, right? Whether you've been calling it or not. And again, the question isn't, are people going to notice me? It's that they already are, right? And the question is, will I shape this the way that I desire, right? How do I want to kind of shape this? I'm hearing, how do I want to seize the moment? So it does feel like there is this carpe diem type of energy. I'm hearing recording like your boldest, noblest moments, okay? And yeah, this is like the energy that's coming through, right? The more energetically you try to repel it, the faster and stronger the energy kind of circles back around to you. And your avoidance almost acts like a magnet within itself, right? So it's almost like this is the part I'm hearing that leaves you feeling like kind of exposed, is the part that leaves you feeling kind of vulnerable, right? But that vulnerability is the only bridge to connection. And your strength lies in seeing that vulnerability as a strong connecting point where people are really going to be able to connect with the parts of you that you thought were, with Black Moon Lilith, it's almost like the part of you that thought was going to be distasteful, the parts of you that you thought were not going to be accepted, the parts of you that were made to believe that this was something maybe to be deeply shameful about, right? And there's something about unconditional love that's really, really coming through. So yeah, this is the current timeline that you're walking, okay? This is the current timeline that you're walking. And if you just allow the narrative to kind of shape itself, then the essence that I was seeing was that there's a way that others are going to perceive you, and it is about, in energetic terms, your energy not being scattered, okay? There's something around without a clear anchor, which is going to be your intention. Like, what do you want to do with this? The intention you receive may be inconsistent. It could like feel like it's kind of chaotic or harder to channel towards your goals. There's something about allow your intention to be your anchor, and it will become clear why you're being placed in this position. Okay, you're being placed in this position because of what you're going to do with it. Okay, again, it's because of what you're going to do with it. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. It's not just about growing quickly and kind of distorting the way that you see the circumstance, because I'm hearing it's going to be very easy to kind of get swept up in this wave of I'm hearing probabilities that comes with this wave of popularity, okay, that comes your way. But it's so important to stay grounded, it's so important to stay rooted, have everything be, I'm hearing, drawn towards your heart instead of towards your head, okay? And there's this magnetic influence that's going to be aligned with your sovereignty, okay? Being a sovereign creator and creating what it is that you desire on a soul level from this experience. So yeah, that was the energy that I was seeing. And then if you claim it, then your light stays clear, right? I'm hearing the mission stays clear, and you're more focused on your real essence of who you are, and just being okay with kind of being perceived through these different filters because you see yourself clearly, right? There's something around your popularity is no longer just random noise. Instead, you start becoming more of a focused conduit. Okay, I'm hearing like a focused channel where you can direct this energy towards your goals, your visions, and also your creations and things that you want to create. And there was a very strong essence in regards to the energy of source begins to flow through you and connect to the divine within others. And you also channel this into anything that you touch, right? There's literally like the King Midas touch that's coming through here, where you touch this card and then it begins glowing with this golden elixir, right? That's what I'm seeing. It's almost like you're seamlessly blending and weaving anything into this existence. And I'm hearing once you become conscious that this is conscious within itself, then this holds the essence of you. That's what I'm seeing. It holds the essence of you. And this also begins to become a point of attraction. So there could be things that you're creating, there could be things that you're doing that are infused with this love. It's infused with the highest frequency of all. And I'm hearing it literally begins to radiate. And this thing now has an exothermic reaction, right? This is now transferring light and heat and joy to your surroundings, right? To those who come, I'm hearing into a well-lined collision with maybe things that you're putting out there, others intersecting with things that you're creating, things that you're doing in this existence. It now becomes an extension of yourself because it's source, a fractal source playing within its own creation, right? An extension of source extending itself in its own creation. And it gets kind of trippy because then it shows that we're so far from base reality, but there is just like an essence of this deep, spherical model in which is time, where there are things that you're going to be creating down the timeline that are going to be super impactful. And this could be more than one thing, by the way, right? We even have the 10 of coins behind this. So this could be to do with your legacy. It could be towards like a bigger vision or goal that you have in mind. That's also like another essence that's coming through. But anyway, that's enough, talking. I want to see what's going on with the cards. So let's get and see. I'm going to open up with a Cosmos Oracle message and just see what's going on in the quantum field right now. We'll see whatever is the theme. Let's just take a look at the theme. Okay, we have vapor trail. So you are skyrocketing, right? Vapor trail is basically a mark, or it's like it talks about trail chems, right? And something being literally left something, you leaving a mark in history, right? It's like somebody soaring off into a complete new trajectory. We have gratitude portal, so it's almost like there is a portal opening up for you. It's a portal of discovery, right? It's almost like you're discovering, and I'm hearing that discovering is almost like you uncovering what it is that you're supposed to do with this. Let's go ahead and see what that is. So a mark being left in the historical timeline. And you're taking flight, right? This is about a rise, almost to success, a rise to visibility, a rise to, you know, the sky not even being your limit, right? Because they're going to outer space. We have entropy. Entropy is a pretty interesting card. Actually, it hasn't come out in a hot minute. I'm gonna go ahead and read it for you. Entropy, very interesting energy. Right. Okay. Loss of order in a system. Okay, this talks about entropy indicates the level of molecular uncertainty of a system. It is the measure of the amount of energy which is lost due to being unavailable to do work. It is the transition from a disorderly state into an even more disorderly state. There are notions of the microscopic order and disorder, uncertainty, a set of messengers which only one will be received. The word entropy comes from the Greek word meaning confusion, derived from a twisting motion, turn around, return, or change the layout, right? So at first look, entropy shows up as a disproportion. We improve by putting order to that molecular confusion. So there's something about on a molecular level, there's going to be so much shift that happens very, very rapidly, right? Because this is something skyrocketing, right? This is something skyrocketing. And there's a level of confusion, right? What's the opposite of confusion? It's clarity. And clarity is going to be found within in regards to what to do with this. Because again, this is something that feels like when you talk about disproportionate elements, it's something that you're kind of used to, right? It's the size of something. I'm hearing it's the scale of something. Okay. And I'm seeing mass production. I'm seeing like mass scales. All right. So it's almost as if things are going to be very, very different. What it is that you're used to, I'm hearing when it comes to the weight, I'm even hearing like the weight of responsibility, the weight of maybe recognition, the weight of impact is going to be kind of disproportionate from what you've been used to. That's what I'm seeing. It's almost like something where it's like you've trained one side and you're having to train the other side so that is equal, right? That's what I'm seeing. It's almost like you're going to be learning like a new balance. That's what it feels as if you're going to be, you've been prepared for this level of visibility, but it feels like you have the ability to grow rapidly along with along with your life. All right, that's what I'm seeing. It's almost like, you know what it is, it's almost as if you've been a big fish in a small pond and now you're being placed in the vast ocean. So what used to feel like a small environment to you is now obviously opening up to a new sea of possibilities because of this level of, again, like visibility that's coming away, or that you're already immersed in. And it's almost like, where do you want to go? What do you want to do with it? Because this is just opening you up to a new possibility and realm of timelines. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is like very, very interesting. This is very interesting indeed. So okay, get down to earth, introduce organization, establish your ideas so that you can clear your hesitation. Because again, there is going to be definitely like a level of reluctancy. Like this is something that I've been picking up on very interestingly, right? There's a level of reluctancy here, or there's a level of apprehension, right? And yeah, get down to earth, introduce organization. It's almost like you're going to have to remember when we said anchor, ground, allow your intention to be your anchor, allow your intention to be something that gains you clarity, okay, that allows you to gain clarity around what you want to do with this new atmosphere that you're being exposed to, that you're being, yeah, that's what it feels like, that you're kind of going to have to kind of explore, right? You can either feel overwhelmed by the place, by I'm hearing, by the fact that you're about to be placed in the deep end. That's what it feels like. But you have the ability to swim within you, okay? And I'm hearing more than that. This isn't just about floating, it's about becoming buoyant, right? To become buoyant is to become less dense in the medium you're immersed in, which means on a soul level, you can feel and see and experience the shifts and changes that are reconfiguring in your reality, right? That's just corresponding with the internal transformation that you've gone through. And wait, what was it? That was the channel. Sugar. You guys already know. But yeah, that you I think you know what I was gonna say, okay? I think you know what I'm gonna say. It just swept away. It literally just swept away. So whatever I was saying there, it was something important, and I'm sure you're gonna be able to finish it. Let's go ahead and continue then. Let's go ahead and continue. I don't remember anything that I was just saying in that second. I know that you're gonna be witnessing reality reconfigure itself. What was I talking about? Being an I don't know, but clarity is gonna come to you through becoming less dense than the medium you're immersed in. Okay, so this is about you being able to see the secret order to what may appear to be disorderly in your life, because things are going to be rearranging itself, reality is going to be rearranging itself. Get back into alignment with you being a soul having a human experience. What is the intention that the soul has? And there's something about you don't see right now that this is completely in alignment with the objective that you had before this incarnation. It's like this is a moment that's, I'm hearing, putting you in alignment with that trajectory. Okay, it's putting you in alignment with that goal. Okay, let's see. I'm hearing the goal of the soul collapse. Ooh, now collapse kind of came up reverse, right? So this is literally just this is crazy, right? Okay, the reason I'm kind of geeking out about this is because you have pulsar at the base. Pulsar talks about a short but intense trip. Okay, this is a short and intense ton of events. However, pulsar also talks about something that's happening in intervals. So this is almost like a wave, right? It's a wave of experience. And collapse talks about the collapse of an old system. And it talks about things are going to change whether you want them to or not, but it requires I'm hearing, even if it doesn't feel like you're physically growing in the ocean, right? Like now it feels like you're a small fish in the vast ocean. Your mind is growing. Okay, I'm hearing, and the hunger that the spirit has for exploration is something that is growing, right? And it's almost like, in order to kind of satiate that, there is something about allowing yourself to dive deep into this new realm of experiences that are readily available for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and read collapse. I love this. I love this energy. It's super interesting. Okay, so collapse. System failure. This talks about the destruction or ruin of a system, but it's a very positive card. So it talks about basically having to collapse your comfort zone. Okay. So this is about a disruption to your comfort zone. It's almost as if, again, you've gotten really comfortable being a big fish in like the, the small pond. Like you've got really comfortable there. You've got really comfortable kind of hiding this thing, repressing this thing, your light. But there's something around like literally the universe is coming to disrupt your comfort zone. Anyway, this talks about a culmination, a stoppage or significant decrease in the level of activity. The energies necessary to complete the cycle have already been obtained and must now be rechanneled. So a way that you've been doing things, I'm hearing it's time to upscale it. This is literally about things scaling, okay, things expanding for you. This is a culmination point. What is a culmination? Well, it's a star's brightest point in the sky. So this definitely feels like a star on the rise, right? A star that's going supernova, and some kind of impact that you're here to have is going to send ripples throughout the cosmos, right? I'm hearing throughout the collective consciousness. And you're here, I'm hearing, to like spark an awakening with your exothermic reaction. I'm seeing you kind of transfer light and heat to your surroundings, right? I'm hearing anything that you touch. Let me try and show you the visual that I'm receiving. Sorry, guys, I know I'm everywhere. I'm not going to apologize, but okay, let's say you've touched this thing, right? Okay, it's kind of like a hot potato game, right? But with consciousness is what I'm seeing, right? It's like this thing is hot now, this thing is glowing, and this thing is infused with an essence that's encoded to awaken something within another fractal of awareness to become conscious of itself. I'm seeing this being something that is like left here, right? It's like you touch this thing, you leave it here, someone else comes into a well line collision with it, okay? Now they touch this thing. Okay, now they begin glowing. Now they begin awakening, right? Now they begin remembering. Okay, I'm hearing it's almost like encoded with awakening frequencies. This is almost like an awakening code of some kind, of which is a remembering code. Anyway, and it's happening as you remember your why, okay? In times of confusion, remembering the why. Anyway, then I see that individual go and almost like bring this, like, hey, you have to see this, you have to see this. So there could be something about word of mouth, and then that touches, and it's just like a touch, pass kind of thing that's going on, where there's a chain reaction, right? It's almost like a sequence of events unfolds long after you have already rechanneled it and you're focusing on the next thing, right? It's just something that's consistent. It's something that you can continue to generate, and whatever it is that you're generating, I'm hearing it's having a huge return, but in ways that you don't see. Okay, I'm hearing it's others kind of returning back to themselves. That's what I'm seeing. It's a return inwards. It's a return inwards. Okay, anyway. This is not to say that it's negative, but rather the previous way that the system operated has now come to an end. So the way that you used to operate in this system, yeah, that's going to be long gone, okay? The patterns may regroup to create a new way of working or not. The collapse destroys the old ways to see new linking forms reborn. We cannot predict if they will be sustained or instead new links will be formed. If reunification is possible, then the system will be reformed from another place. All that is clear is that this will either be in a new way or not, right? So this is saying that there are new links that are going to be readily available to you. But again, is this going to shape you, or are you going to shape it, right? I'm hearing, are you going to choose to take the horse by the reins with that Six of Wands energy? So yeah, this is super interesting. This is a very beautiful energy. Okay, so pulsar, again, talks about something happening in intervals. So That's what I'm seeing, okay? There's like a series of stages that you're being exposed to in some way, because I'm seeing you being transferred to a new environment in order to get to, I'm hearing the pond or the river. Okay, in order to get to like the lake, I'm hearing that's attached to a river of change in your life. This is a flow that you're going to have to surrender to, and all rivers lead to the ocean, right? So this is like an unavoidable change, and you can't swim against the current because, again, you're going to get swept up in it anyway, okay? I'm hearing defying the laws of gravity. Okay, there's something around allowing yourself to move with the power of the river, using the current as your own, right? Using it as some kind of level of yeah, it kind of does remind me of kinetic energy. So, kinetic energy is the action behind your intention that builds momentum. Okay, and this is about like a wave that you're going to be surfing. All right, and this is a wave of momentum. Okay, it's again a wave of popularity, it's a wave of something that you're literally going to be having to surf. And the intention is a spark, right? It's a spark, usually from the spirit. If you think about spark, you think about like Page of Wands energy, right? He has this creator spark in his mind, and it usually is infused with this childlike essence, right? And there's a level of optimism that he has about this thing. Now, he actually begins to ground this spark into the physical realm, right? This is about his staff that he plants firmly down into this third dimensional experience. And what happens is that his intention is now becoming tangible, accessible points through space and time for him, right? His intention, his creative spark, is beginning to open up different realms of possibilities. And there is different road maps that he can take, right? There's different kind of ways that he can leverage from how the universe is kind of putting him in a position um to leverage as a quantum being, right? Anyway, there's an essence in regards to your intention is that creative spark, your action behind it is kinetic energy. It builds momentum. I'm hearing it builds that velocity and it gets things going. Okay, so there's a level of you're going to really have to go where the universal flows in regard to this, that's like a very strong energy. Anyway, I can't remember what I was saying, but let's go ahead and continue. I feel like this happens so fast as well. Okay, we have this strength that's kind of popping out here. Let's see, right? Let's take a look at the theme around you. Ooh, look at this, right? The theme around you is the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is somebody that is used to actually being quite reserved. This is someone, it reminds me of someone like in the spotlight, in the public eye, that's used to just being reserved. The scene that's coming up with Jim Carrey? It's like this scene where he's on the red carpet and he talks about, don't you see that this is just like consciousness doing this dance of creation and we're all just dancing with each other. And he just says things that are so, seen as outlandish or, quite eccentric or eclectic. He really just he just almost, he chooses when he wants to hand over the pentacle. And there's something about you as someone that is just so reserved, okay? And I think that's exactly why, because we're here to experience polarity and contrast and duality, right, in this realm. So it's almost as if you're having to keep the state of the neutral observer and witness the part of yourself, the dimension that is used to staying reserved. And I feel like this is something ancestrally as well. You've been used to staying reserved as a form of protection, but you don't realize that the awareness that you have around this construct is the only protection that you need, okay? You still have this, again, almost like atmosphere that you return to internally, right? It's this internal inner still sanctuary. It's the cosmos within that allows you to see the secret reordering of things in your reality to align you with what your initial intentions were, okay, to experience here. And that helps you navigate what appears to be chaotic, things that are outside of your control in regards to the external, right? This is choosing how you want to respond to it. And there's something about you being able to grow very, very rapidly through this. And I'm not just talking about in the physical and the material. This is about like etheric soul growth. You're growing through discomfort. It's almost like you're growing through the things that you're going through right now. And it's about a season of change. I'm hearing that's that's in pending, okay, a season of change that's pending. But there's an opportunity to claim the narrative, right? Because this is like justice. It's literally about maybe even cause and effect, the things that you've kind of given to, okay? That's going to be changing. Okay, I'm hearing all the way that you give. It's being conscious of the selection of timelines where your influence is magnetic and aligned and also sustainable, right? It's not accidental or distorted. This isn't an accident. Okay, this is not an accident. I'm hearing one people win the lottery, that's not an accident. Okay, I'm hearing it's aligned with very specific soul lessons. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. It's almost like there is a cosmic jackpot that you're hitting in some way, but you're here to experience the opposite. So if you've been someone that has moved through this existence being kind of protective and closed off, this is an experience designed to open you up. Okay, open you up towards your full potential, open you up towards new realms of possibility, opening you up to new expansive timelines, right? As you kind of unravel yourself. I'm hearing you're unraveling yourself. Right, let's see. It's almost like get curious about, who would I be if I was in this position, right? Or there's something around that, like, what would I do with this? That's what I'm seeing. Like, what would I do? Yeah, what would I do? It's not about it's not about who you would be. It's about knowing that it's all that you already are. Okay, it's all that you already are. And you get to infuse the essence of what you already are into something that you do. Now we have the Eight of Pentacles here as well. Now, this is pretty interesting, especially because it's come up reversed. This could be about you being overly critical with yourself. Okay, there's almost like a level of maybe being very, very critical with yourself to the degree where you have potentially being in a state of analysis paralysis, right? You've chosen not to share this thing. I'm seeing something in the archived. You've chosen not to upload this. You've chosen not to open yourself up to new experiences because of maybe even like a fear of rejection. Okay. And I'm hearing the very thing that you feel like you're going to be rejected for, the very thing that you feel like you're going to be exiled for. Okay. And this could be, again, things from a past life, right? It's almost like something from a past life or parallel life, right? A resonant lesson in these parallels that's bleeding through into this experience is the very thing that is going to lead to you having the impact that you came here to have, right? So yeah, this is very, very interesting. You're stronger now than you ever have been, okay? So there's almost a need to continue to follow through, okay? There's something about following through with your action despite the part of you that may come to the surface that has, I'm hearing, manifested itself into being as a survival mechanism. That's almost what it feels like. This is a survival mechanism in regards to how you've navigated this construct. And this feels like a personality, to be honest with you. Like a personality, all personalities is literally a way that we shape ourselves, right, and move through this existence as a survival mechanism when navigating this matrix. So this is somebody that is seen as shy, it's somebody that's seen as reserved, it's somebody that is, kind of makes excuses because they are just someone that is introverted, right? This is someone that creates in the background, they create in privacy, right? They create, but then they also critique, right, themselves. It's someone that, paints for, let's just say, the enjoyment of painting, right? It's something that's deeply resonant for them on a soul level. But have you ever seen, they're showing me this in art class. I remember there was this girl in art class and she created like such a beautiful masterpiece. Oh my gosh, the way that this piece spoke to my soul. And I tell you, my heart felt like it ripped into shreds when I was speaking to her. I was like, this is like going to be your final design, right? This is the part that you're going to like, you're going to, like show this thing, right? You're going to showcase this thing. It was like our end of term, a project that we were doing, right? And this was like years ago when I did art and design, and she just ripped it out of her book and she just ripped it up. And I'm laughing in disbelief, you know? It's almost like the very thing that you try to hide, the very thing that you think is not good enough. I was like, what? I was like, I would have kept that, you know, I would have actually kept that just for myself, you know, the very thing that you may try to hide or the very thing that you don't want others to see, right? Because of that inner critic within your head is the very thing that's going to speak to another soul. And I don't know what this is, but there's just something, again, that you touch, it's infused with your essence. And yeah, there's a level of you creating from as a form of like alchemy, you know? It's almost like this is a muse in some way. It is a way that your soul fully expresses itself in this realm, in the art of third dimensional play and creation. And that's what I'm seeing for you. It's almost as if it tells a story within itself and the story speaks to everyone differently. So yeah, there's almost that essence that's coming through, you know? And sometimes, you know, I've done this myself where I've created, you know, a masterpiece and I'm just saying that like nonchalant, but there's times where you really don't like it at the time. But I always made it a rule of thumb to never rip those pages out, right? This isn't part, it's like there's something around it. It's parts of your story, it's parts that have made you who you are. You can't just rip out those, you know, pieces that have played a monumental role in the development and evolution of your soul. That's what I'm seeing it as, right? It's something that shaped your experience in some way, and you're here to kind of shape others from the very thing that you have been deeply repressing and suppressing. So anyway, I made it a rule of thumb to never rip it out, and instead I just cover it up. And you know, whether this is days or weeks or years later, I'll go back and look at that piece and I'll say, wow, that was actually pretty amazing. You know, I don't know what I saw at the time, but it wasn't through the lens that I'm seeing it now. And there is something about your point of reference changing, right? Almost in the way that you can relate to yourself, relate to your own journey on earth. Maybe something that once seemed like it was confusing, something that once seemed like you didn't really understand it. Maybe it's something that I'm hearing feels like it's been kind of a blessing and a curse for you, right? Maybe it's the very thing that made you feel excluded, made you feel like the outcast, even like growing up, right? Because I'm seeing almost like your Chiron wound activating, but it's deeply resonant to those around you, right? It's almost like something that you've gone through not only allows you to grow through it, but also allows others to grow as a mirrored reflection of that. You know, that's what I'm seeing. So yeah, super, super beautiful here. This is like the energy around you. So this is very, very deep. And I knew it would be, right? Because otherwise, again, like it's because of what you're going to do with that. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's almost like the very thing that you want to rip up and throw away is the very thing that needs to be put on display for the world to see, right? This is the very aspects or attributes of yourself that are here to be put on display, right? It's like you are an art gallery, you know? Anyway, let's go and see. All right, what is this surge of visibility? What is this? Three of Swords reversed. I'm telling you, it's a form of alchemy, right? It's almost like you are an artist. I don't know whatever it is that you do, but Three of Swords reversed is literally something that was previously haunting the hallways of your heart or lingering in the hallways of your mind, right? Is something that you are finding an outlet for, right? And Three of Swords reversed is basically something that once felt so prominent, right? And you kind of look back at it and suddenly it doesn't feel so bad, right? It's almost like, thank you for the tragedy, I needed it for my art. And you transmuted that. It's almost as if like you rechanneled this energy. Maybe it's something that's gone on in your third dimensional experience, but it's actually been designed to help you further accelerate along your path, right? It's almost like something that I'm hearing once felt like just again a leaden experience, you were able to turn into a golden opportunity. And you're going to see how the very thing that maybe seemed like it wasn't valuable upon the surface was the deep treasure that the soul was here to experience because of what it was going to do with the circumstance. You know, I related this in the past where it really is like a rags to riches type of energy. And let's talk about like Adele for a moment, right? We all know Adele, the British singer. Well, you know, she hadn't gone through those accumulation of like heartbreaks and, you know, experiences with her partner at the time, then she wouldn't create this beautiful resonant music that so many souls around the world are able to hear and it's something that assists others on their journey, even if it's at a very particular moment in time. It's almost like the words that maybe someone needs to hear. Maybe it's the frequency that somebody really needs to dwell in. I'm hearing it's something that's deeply emotive as well. So it's almost like it allows that energy that could be stuck to really be put in motion. And sometimes the best way that can happen is just being able to do something with it, right? It's being able to say, what do I want to do with this emotion? How can it begin to inspire me, right? Let's get it moving, right? Let's begin to create from this space. And yeah, there's something around that. Like, this is why, there's something around you're assisting others in their times of hardship, in their times of pain, which is super beautiful. So this is healing. This is like, again, it's healing. It's an exothermic reaction of being able to integrate certain experiences, being able to integrate certain information. I'm hearing you are a messenger in that way, and it may be through the realms of frequency or vibration, or something that you do that is deeply felt. It's deeply felt, and it could be a trigger point. It could be a trigger point. I'm hearing you could even bring up old wounds for them to resurface, to be reevaluated and reviewed and revised and finally released. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I feel like we have the why. Let's see where this is taking you. And I'm seeing where this is taking you is this ascension spherical model that is time, and it's taking you into a new time within yourself. It's taking you into a time of recognition within yourself of the impact that you're here to have, and most importantly, how the things that you also create impact you. That's the paradox. That is a paradox. The things in which you create from that wounded place actually is the very thing that heals you. It's the very thing that heals you. And that is the paradox of being able to hold space for the contrast of this reality, right? Where beauty can emerge from pain, right? That's almost an essence that's coming through. And I feel like you are the walking embodiment of this. Where this is placing you is a Nine of Pentacles and Two of Pentacles. So this could be actually generating new streams of revenue for you. Okay, we have the Temperance here at the base. So this is something you're going to moderate. It's something you're going to kind of dip your toes in the water in regards to. I'm seeing like spirit kind of bring you to a place where you have the ocean and then someone's here, right? And they're kind of like walking to the edge and they're dipping their foot in the water. And they're kind of like feeling out a situation. I'm seeing you being taken by a boat, which is like your spiritual journey into the sea, right? Into this new realm. And it's almost like, how you can either jump in the ocean when you're on a boat in the middle of it, or you can kind of sit at the edge of the boat and you can dip your feet in and kind of feel a situation out, and then like slowly kind of like release yourself into the ocean and begin to kind of swim. There is that kind of element where you're kind of being exposed, right? It's almost like you're going to be opening yourself up petal by petal until the core essence of your why is revealed, until the true intention is something that kind of speaks for itself. I'm not sure what this is. Hopefully this makes sense. But yeah, the Nine of Pentacles and the Two of Coins, this could be literally a change of jobs for you guys, right? This could be about self-sufficiency. It's literally about someone that cultivates skills, abilities, and they come to a point in their life where they are just this regenerative form of abundance for themselves, through everything that they've learned, through everything that they've experienced. It's something that allows them to jump timelines. This is really what it is. A Two of Pentacles is somebody kind of juggling between timelines, and eventually they make a decision and align their actions accordingly to solidify one, to collapse one into their reality. They decide, hey, this is actually something that, again, I'm going to take the reins in regards to. I'm actually going to use this wave. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by it, I'm going to learn to surf it, right? I'm going to actually begin to, yeah, that was like the energy that was coming through, right? I'm actually going to claim this wave. I'm actually going to claim this energy. I'm going to shape the narrative of this, right? That's the essence that's coming through very, very strongly in regards to you. And it could be something, again, that you're filling out, and you are an earth angel of some kind, right? With the Temperance. It's like you are here to begin to, I'm hearing, first of all, recover and uncover and rediscover your own light, and then assist others in that journey of self-discovery. So with that being said, I'm gonna love and leave you there. I don't feel like we need to talk anymore about this. I'm gonna pull one more message, which is the angel number message, and then I've got to go. Actually, 666 reflection. So reviewing, revising, reflecting on the things in your third dimensional experience. This is in your physical reality, right? As I refocus on what serves my highest good, I feel myself shift into my highest self. Okay, so how are you gonna navigate this transformation 1919 here at the base? You have the power within you to change your life. There's a new sense of purpose and a connection to new things, right? That are going to be blossoming. This is new beginnings, all right? So I'm going to love and leave you guys right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing because we'd love to have you around. Personal reading details also down below. Also check out Altar Spirit if you guys are looking for some high quality 88 grade jewelry. We have Celestite on today, Moonstone and Rainbow Moonstone, which are all intuitive stones. Small family owned business, the handcraft, these 88 grade gemstones that you can select and overlay individually like this, or they have zodiac packs, chakra collections, plethora of different options to choose from. $1 of the proceeds are donated towards Otter Sanctuary as well. And I'm gonna love and leave you there because I have to go. I'm actually having a live co-creation that's about to happen. So I'll speak to you guys very, very soon. Until next time, bye.